one,
two,
and a two,
three.
and a one, and a three, and a one, and a two, and a one, and a three, and a one, and a two, and a one, and a three, and a... Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Yeah!
Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Are we live yet? Are we live yet? Are we live yet? Are we live yet? Are we live yet?
Always. We're always
Are we
live. With flavor. Avec flavor.
Avec flavor. Let's go ahead and open up the chat field because we're feeling good that we're going to have people chatting.
So many people talking to us and talking to us and talking to us. Welcome to Twitch, everybody. Twitch is a streaming platform. I'm kidding. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Maddie.
How are you?
What do you want to talk about today?
What kind of topics do you like?
What kind of topics do you like? I have now too many things in my way.
We do have a goal today. This will be a short one. I don't have my time timer on. Oh God. This is going to be a short one. We were tasked today by Evan.
Evan gave us an assignment. He got really serious about it, and it was kind of adorable.
It was cool. It was cool, mange. And we're gonna build a logo for a podcast, right? A logo.
Well, a proof of concept, so that the person in the group who's actually good at designing can then help, shepherd us to the next level. Let's back up. Let's back the train out of the station and talk about how we got to the station in the first place. So, a few weeks ago, Matt says to me, Matt and I both have ADHD in very different, wonderful ways. We both decided ADHD is not a disability, but our superpowers. And we like to talk about, things that are the same and things that are different, right? So, Matt came to me and was like, do you want to do a podcast all about ADHD with a little bit of D&D? And I said, absolutely, I do. And he said, great, because I have a wonderful name. And that name is... Matt, I'll let you do the honors.
ADHD 20.
Amazing. Such a good name. I always want to do podcasts. I always want to do podcasts with Matt, but I especially want to do podcasts with Matt with magical names.
Yeah, the ADHD and D20.
About
D&D, yeah. It was inspired, and it was a joke, of course, at first. But in the 2 episodes that we recorded, we have had plenty to talk about, and I there's far more intersections than you would imagine, I would think. So, hooray for us! Anyway,
hooray for us. Well, and it's amazing that 2 people with ADHD have been able to focus enough to come together and create 2 episodes with many more to follow.
Yeah.
So they will be out soon. Actually, they really will be. I was going to say that in jest, but Matt has actually been, kicking ass.
Editing.
With the old Descript to edit and produce.
Yes.
But we need a logo. So that way we can push our magical little podcast out into the ether.
And the universe. So.
Yes.
Our designer, Evan's main rule was no digital. Go old school, analog, and just kind of give him, 3 to 5 basic concepts, some ideas.
So this is going to be a 2-part series. We're gonna, so Matt and I are gonna concept this today and come up with the very, very rough sketches and what we like, what kind of vibe we're looking for, and then in a future installment of Pear Pods, Evan and I are going to take the sketches into Adobe Illustrator, and Evan is going to walk me through his magic of designing the logo, because Illustrator is one program that I have been dying to learn but struggling with, and so I'm hoping kind of seeing his process from concept to final logo will help me.
Love it.
So you, dear viewer, will also get to be with us on this journey as Matt and I talk through what we want and turn that into what it is. What it is.
All right, so what is it?
What is it? So in the beginning there were logos. No. So Evan gave us a series of questions to ask because we're the clients here. It's really fun when we are both the designers and our own clients. And so when we think about logos, there's usually 2 components. There's the logo mark, and then the typeface. And so we have to decide if we want both of those things, or do we want the logo to be like typeface only, and like how those are going to work together? And if we go the logo mark route, especially, like what is some imagery that comes to mind that we could tie in? Or do we want to go, less granular than that and go with like shapes that appeal to us, or whatever the case is?
Yeah.
And then just general, like, what's the vibe? Like, is it friendly and playful? Is it like buttoned up and serious? Spoiler alert, it's not that. So I thought Matt and I today could like just talk about some imagery and shapes and ideas that come to mind when we think about our podcast. So with podcasts, you have like a lot of logos centered around like microphones and headphones and very like, computers and very digital things. Do we want to go more on the subject matter at hand, either ADHD and or D&D? And then how do we get like creative? Like obviously the name of the podcast is ADHD 20. So the very low hanging fruit here would be to like create a logo mark that's a D20. Like one of these, let me do my influencer hand, a D20, a 20-sided dice. With like ADHD written on it. But that feels not right. We can do better, right?
I bet we could do better, but that is an example of one idea that he would
That is
ask
an
for.
example of
So
one idea.
I think we should not knock that. I like that idea.
Okay.
I don't know how to draw but yeah, people get the
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, you get the idea that you have your little 20-sided, your polyhedral.
Yes.
God,
Where's mine?
I'm such a dice goblin now. I just want to stare at my pretty shinies.
Define dice goblin to people that don't know.
Dice goblin is somebody who is very obsessed with shiny math rocks, aka dice.
Yeah, I was going to say, define math rocks to people who don't know.
Well, in math there are numbers, and so in D&D you roll all kinds of dice. So 20 is, something that we roll a lot, but then there's also like 12-sided dice, 10-sided dice, 4-sided dice, 8-sided dice, 6-sided dice. We have something called a D100, which is not a 100-sided dice, but you roll one that is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, and then you roll a D10 and come up with a number between 1 and 100. I like that we're just all in on sharing. We've got
love it.
Bergs. So anyway, so a dice goblin is someone like me who is very obsessed. And so like for each character that I've developed, I have like a set of dice that to me represents that character. And then I just have dice that are really pretty to look at. Because my favorite, color is glitter, I have a lot of very shiny dice. I have a set of metal dice. Matt has one as well, that are very, very satisfying to roll because they thump. Here's my dice bag because I'm a dice goblin. We're just going to talk about dice. Evan's going to watch this back and be like, you guys. Here's my metal dice. And then let's see if you can hear this. I mean, just a chunky boy. Anyways. Is that enough coverage of dice goblining, Maddie?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So my creative brainstorming process is I like to go to like photo sites or sites like the Noun Project that has a lot of like vector images and type in keywords and see like what comes up when I type in those keywords. So today I went to unsplash.com, which is one of my favorite royalty-free photo websites that I use a lot in marketing. And I typed in ADHD. And unfortunately for me, it's a lot of like negative connotations.
Really?
Or what could be perceived as negative connotations. So like there's one that's, like a very cluttered desk with lots of paper on it and then ADHD written on a Post-it note.
Do you have links to these things? Because one thing I can do is show them.
Can I share my screen? Is that possible? Or can you share your screen? And
I can share my screen. I think you can share your screen, but
I mean, if
think
I
you
can
can.
share my screen. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I click the button that says share screen. Is
That might do it.
Is that how I would accomplish this task?
Possibly.
That had a super low DC.
See what happens there.
Just now. All right. Sharing my screen. All right. Oh, and I can share just a window or the entire screen. So we're just gonna
Go window.
All right. I went window. From the windows.
Oh, I see.
Can you-
Nice. So
yeah.
then I pull it in as. Okay, one moment. Assign this to. Oh, I see. It makes it a guest. So. One. Sorry, was not expecting this. I wasn't expecting this.
Isn't that what
We
Pair Pods is all
start
about? We just
there.
throw stuff at each other on screen?
Yeah. I'm going to call this guest. This is going to be guest 2. Oh, weird. And I'm going to assign this to be guest 2. So how about that? So you can't see it, but I'm pretty sure it's your screen. So
Great.
Good on you.
Good on me. So yeah, so here are, I will say this, that when I first started, when Matt first said like, hey, can you help us come up with a logo for this? Something around a medicine bottle, but maybe like a medicine bottle pouring out dice instead of pills came to mind as like imagery for this. Here's the one that I was talking about that's like crumpled paper with ADHD. Of course, fidget spinners, come up. And then of course, like these poor sad people, they're sad. And I'm not sad about my ADHD. It doesn't, so one of the other ideas, concepts I had. All right, so we should start writing this down. So we have D20.
Got
plus
D20. 2
ADHD.
Sad people.
No, we're not using sad people.
ADHD. Okay, great. Love that.
Fidget spinner has become kind of synonymous with people with ADHD. You've brought fidget spinners up on both of the episodes that we've recorded.
Well,
All right.
I'm a user.
So we've got fidget spinners. I was thinking, all right, so we've got pill bottle pouring out dice.
Ridiculous. Pill bottles.
That was like when I originally was like concepting it, I just pictured like, image of like a pill bottle and then like ADHD 20 and then like dice just.
Now wait a minute. I kind of like that one. Pill container. Yeah.
So it pouring out the title plus the dice. And then the other thought that I had, especially now that I'm here on Unsplash, and by the way, I'm entertained that there's just not very much. Like there's only 4 photos. These are all from iStock, which you can go to other sites. But like only 4 photos on Unsplash, which usually has like
Ableism.
thousands of returns.
Ableism.
Has right?
God.
and like bowling shoes, a sad person at the ocean, somebody reading something, and some drugs are the 4 are the 4 things.
Bowling shoes.
Bowling shoes. I don't know. I have no idea.
God, the sad person on the edge of the world.
And like Unsplash, because Unsplash is it's free. You can use any of these as long as you credit the original artist. There's always ads for paid services, but again, we get back into this like highly medical pills, kids, so sad. Okay, this is more like it, kind of the scrambled thoughts, not knowing where to go. But like, why is everybody so upset? So the other thing I was thinking about, imagery-wise, more pills, is the idea of superheroes. Like, so what if the logo had something like a superhero cape or something like that? Since we feel like... So I was trying to think about, like, imagery around, like, superhero being supercharged, a battery, I don't know, like, any of those... So that's my thought process. That's how I get to places. I will stop talking and let you share what you have in your, again, some more pill bottles.
More pill bottles. I mean, these blocks kind of also speak to me. It kind of is similar to number 1, but it is like all the 20s would spell out ADHD. I don't know, that could be...
Oh.
I will admit that I am fully biased about, based on her opinion, but one of the things that Lindsay really does not like is being called a superhero. She always groans whenever it's in a movie or a TV or something.
Yeah. I hear that.
That's just her. That's just her, though. You feel like a superhero. That's what matters. So, but I'm a little cooler on that idea. But I think we should write it down anyway.
Here's the thing. I don't necessarily want to be called a superhero, but I like the idea that it's my
Heroine.
superpower. Like it's the thing that actually, if I know how to harness the energy and work with my ADHD instead of against it,
Yes.
it could be a cool thing. Not that I think I need to like wear a cape and go save the world with my ADHD powers. Let's get real clear on what I meant by that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. I kind of like the idea of the fidget spinner too, if we can figure out.
Fidget spinner is fun, for sure. By the way, and completely on
All right,
brand.
so like,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Well, I just, as far as Twitch goes, not that. Well, there is, there. One thing we were supposed to be doing was marking this as just talking, right? But I don't know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do it. Just saying.
We have so much to learn.
We have so much to learn.
I don't know.
Never mind. Super duper. Or you're on the Noun Project, which is another treasure trove of inspiration.
So from here, like, so I usually start with like the low hanging fruit, right? Like the word ADHD, but then we figure out like other words that we like that may or may not direct. So like, again, I don't want to say superhero, but maybe like supercharge.
Yeah.
And it's like, see what, like, and then just kind of start like following the various trails. Supercharge, one word? I don't know. Let's see. But like, let's see what comes. Okay. So we didn't find any icons for supercharge. Let's go back to Unsplash and just see. Okay, well, what if our logo, since it's something that you and I have a shared love for, was a Dyson?
Dyson vacuum cleaner. I mean, I definitely do. I definitely do love Dyson vacuum cleaners.
Because some people think that our ADD, I can't even get this out. Some people think that with our ADD, we suck.
Sometimes having ADHD does suck. So that also fits.
Yep.
What about dragons and dungeons and goblins and
Yeah, like we could have like the dragon breathing out the fire and the fire reads ADHD 20.
Fire breathing dragon.
Or not, how there's like dragons have like a horde. So maybe like the dragon is like curled up in a cute little nap, like around the letters ADHD 20.
The treasure trove.
The treasure trove.
And instead of gold, mountains of gold and jewels.
It's fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners and Vyvanse. And Adderall. That's what it is. Little blue orange pills sitting on it.
All right, so
That's pretty
dragon
freaking
curled
fun.
around pill bottles and
Oh boy, dragon
Evan's gonna be
horde.
so mad at us. He asked us to like come up with sketches, and instead we just got weird. All right, so then let's look up dragon horde.
Okay. Dragon horde. Whoa. Oh, wow.
Be amazing.
Amazing.
Be
Be.
amazing. I don't know why Dragon Horde keeps pulling up Be Amazing, but here we are.
Maybe they're just urging us to be amazing.
All right.
Just in general.
All right. Boy, we hitting the hookah. What was I about? Oh, Dice Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't know what to do with that.
Yeah, most people don't.
Amazing. So fun. All right. Anything else you'd like for me to look up while any other threads you'd like to pull?
I'd like to turn on my color light, my rando color light, because it's that time
What
of
color
day.
will it be today?
What color will it be today? Why is it
What
taking so
color will it
long?
be?
Oh no. Maybe it doesn't work no more. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe I turned it off. That's also possible. All right. Oh, there it is. Oh,
But it's ghosting.
There we go. Now it's that. There we go. Now it's that. Oh wow, it's really.
I like that we are literally being distracted by the shiny thing right
I know.
now. Like,
That's the way it works. There we go. I like that color. Anyway, let's see.
okay. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're stopping sharings. Yes.
So, unless you want to keep looking for imagery, I think we have some good threads to pull.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do we want to talk about like words that we would use to describe us/this?
Mm-hmm. Because of course it could just be a logo type,
Mm-hmm.
which has no graphic.
And then we'll need to pick the right font or create our own that gives that, like, whatever we say our vibe is.
Mm-hmm.
So what feelings do we want to convey with our podcast? Suckitude.
Joy, anger, defeat, dismay.
That took a turn.
Joy. Yeah, at least I started with joy. Defeat.
Words.
Dismay. Okay. All right.
What are words that we would use to describe ourselves? Since it is our podcast.
I would like to think that we have charismatic. We are charismatic.
Okay.
Which is another. I mean, it would be kind of hard to portray in a small logo, but like a character sheet.
Ooh.
Like character sheet, strength, wisdom, intelligence, dexterity, ADHD.
Constitution. We replace our Constitution score with our ADHD score.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, charismatic. I would call.
Yeah, as opposed to non-charismatic, at least, right?
Sure.
You know, as opposed to
I'm gonna put down
non-charismatic.
animated. I feel like you and I are both pretty animated people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would say. snarky. We can be
Yes.
snarky. Just wonder. Snark, snark, snark.
Snark, snark, snark. Snark,
Snark.
snarky.
Um.
Weird.
Mostly you, of course.
Where do you think I get it?
Kind. Mostly
Are we?
me. But
Two in a row, sir.
bzzzt.
I would say inclusive. Like the whole reason that we wanted
Yeah.
to start this is so that people know, like, you're not alone. Like, there's others of us out here.
Yes. Inclusive. And yeah, specifically the idea of wanting to be a part of a community. Enjoying conversing with others in all different types of realms, enjoying the television show Community.
I don't.
Okay. Just me.
Am I fired? Is that the
No,
breaking
no.
point right there?
No. How far did you get? The first
Like
season
an
is...
episode?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what everybody says. Everybody's like, the first
No.
season is.
The first season, they tried it to make it too normal, and then it got weird, and then it got really good. Let's see. Community focused. All right. Those are some words.
So, like, when we think about, like, okay, I'm getting a vision. I have to wonder if, like, there's a reason that as somebody with ADHD, I like mismatched things on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that canon should be, like, tied into, like, the font choice, like if each letter maybe is or looks a little different, you know?
Mismatched.
I have the world's worst handwriting. So this is not good, but I am doing what Evan asked us, which is sketch something so we can, like, take it somewhere. So
Well, I think that I have pretty handwriting, but utterly unreadable.
beautiful. I can't read it because it's too small. Hold on, let me
Well,
let me
I don't
trade
think
you
you-
with me.
I don't think you can
In my
read it
view.
at all.
Do it again. Do that again. I love your handwriting so much.
But
But
I
yeah.
can't even read it sometimes.
Okay, so I made here's my awful sketch
Mm-hmm.
where I made like our little pill bottle,
ADHD.
and then like each
Uh-huh.
letter of ADHD 20 is a very different style.
Falls out.
It clashes with
Uh-huh.
itself. Does it?
Well, which is you know a gaggle of dice, right? They're all different.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean I think it's fun, though. You know, I mean, then do you get flack for glorifying medicine,
Meds. Yeah,
or
I had
do
that.
you
Do
know?
we care?
But do we care? Because no one talks about it. That's one of the things I don't want to shy away from, because they turn it into Netflix documentaries that make you angry.
Well, and that's exactly it. Like, I'm not saying everybody needs to be medicated, but becoming medicated can be a component of
yeah,
ADHD.
I
One
don't
that I
care if
am
you're-
just now, as an almost 40-year-old, dipping my toes into for the very first time. So yeah, I don't want to make the podcast about pills, but like I also want to say like, hey, if you choose to medicate for this, that's okay. You are still welcome here.
Yeah. Drug users unite and elect us as your leaders. Okay. Definitely end of the week punchiness. But okay, here's the things that I like so far. I mean, obviously D20 with ADHD. That's something. I really love sad people with ADHD. Kidding.
Stop it. We're not
I like the pill container pouring out dice idea. I think that's fun. I think that's a fun thing.
When you asked me to come up with a logo, that was literally like within seconds, that was the very first thing that popped into my head.
Okay. Cool. All right, let me.
But I also like the dragon curled around pill bottles and fidget spinners.
That's pretty great too. I mean,
why are we this way?
I don't know. I was looking at this thing and going, this is not the right camera for this. And I was like, wow, that looks like a weapon. That looks like that could be
something a rogue would throw.
Like a throwing star, but and then this one is weird and fun, like a gear, like a flail. I don't know what to do with that. This is my mouse pad. Does that help you? Cool. Beans.
No, I think we're onto something here. Whether the logo mark is something to do with dice.
Another last. You could do A as a 4-sided die.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
What would D be? D would be
maybe the loop of it is a like 8 or 12.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my dice hoard.
Dice hoard.
I'm so glad that we get to play D&D all weekend.
I know. It's been a long ass time.
Okay, so some shapes. Okay.
D.
Okay.
And then what would H be? H might have to be the 6-sided die, right? I mean, that's...
So I think the D... I think the D is either going to have to be the D12 or the D10. Well, no. It's going to need to be the D12. Because it's the same shape as 20, but smaller. Then we have... Like, these are kind of diamond-y shapes. So I'm trying to figure out, like, the 8 and the 10... Can we just make this a problem for Evan to solve?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the point. He said he needs concepts. So I would say that's a concept. Dice spelling out.
I just, I wanted to, like, look at other things before, because I will say that I feel like that's a little, like, low-hanging fruit, I can already hear Evan in my head saying, dream bigger. That's how he talks, by the way.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like, yeah.
That's what he says.
90-year-old man from a Pixar movie is how Evan sounds, IRL.
Help me!
Help me! We should do more lives.
And you're Simon, and I like drawings. Yeah, we should. Number one. Number two. Do we have enough? Because I think, here's the thing. Okay, here's a question. Is fidget spinning really locked into ADHD? It's also kind of, it's not necessarily. It was a fad. Autism, people on the autistic spectrum also love fidget spinners, or some do. So maybe that's not enough to be a horde. But, we've got the obvious one, I think our favorite, which is the pill container pouring out dice. I think we've got a dragon breathing ADHD, which of course Evan would make it look beautiful. It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then dice spelling out.
Mm-hmm.
Which he is exceptionally good at doing. That kind of stuff.
He is, yeah, for sure.
I don't know how to work the character sheet idea.
Or okay, here's a completely different direction.
Okay.
And it may be too but what if we could fashion some kind of spell scroll? Like, would that imagery be strong enough to
fashion?
Or okay. Spell scroll in the D&D world, or a potion bottle. Like, if we didn't want to go the straight hardcore RX medicine bottle, what if it was a potion to tie in the whole D&D thing?
A potion that said liquid Adderall.
Liquid focus.
Oh.
Or like a concentration spell, or a
yes.
See? What?
Tell
me.
There you go. Let's see, potion. Damn it. Potion of concentration. That's interesting. Okay, that's another fun one. A little bit more vague, but the only other thing I was thinking of was, and I don't have my book with me, but there's this beautiful book, the Art and Arcana of Dungeons and Dragons. But if there was a riff on an old thing, an old I don't know, probably trademarked, so never mind.
Okay, but I think we got, okay. So pill bottle pouring out, title and dice, or some kind of either spell scroll or potion of concentration. I also wrote down spell book.
Spell book. All right, can I do this? Did I do that? One second. So, where are we? What happens if I do that? Yeah, there we go. You can't see my screen though, can you? Darn it. But there's a fun one down here. This, you can't share screens, can you? We need to work that out. We need to work all of that.
I mean, I shared mine.
Okay. You're right.
I know you're seeing something different than I am, but like on my.
Yeah. You're
hey,
right.
we have a whole viewer. Hello, viewer. Whoever you are, wherever you are.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that adorable? There it is. Do you see that? See, I don't know whether you see anything. That's my problem. Yeah.
Rude.
That's weird.
Okay,
Rude.
sorry. Continue.
Super.
I did not mean to cut you off.
Never mind. Anyway, just like the idea of focus potion, a focus scrolls, focus.
Ooh,
hell.
arcane focus. Like, I wonder if there's a way to.
Oh.
Like, all spellcasters have to have an arcane focus.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if we can work.
Oh, okay. That's fun too. A little deep cut.
A little
for
double
the nerds.
entendre. The action.
A little deep cut for the nerds.
Deep cut for the
Nerd.
I love this. So good.
Mm-hmm. That's fun. Okay.
Oh, and
Yeah,
then we
so
can't
there's, like-
forget Dyson.
Right. Yes, please write that down.
I wrote it down. How could I leave that off of our final list?
It just happens, but okay. Well, I have to say, I feel good about our homework.
Our work here is. I actually may try and like take these and like, because Evan's gonna want to see sketches, even though neither of us wants to give Evan sketches. He's gonna want to see them.
Mm-hmm.
That
I don't know.
good at
Might.
art human being.
Mm-hmm.
That magic creature, Evan Bivens.
Sketches. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Friday night. Our homework's done. You're gonna go play with fidget spinners and eat pizza.
Those two
I'm gonna
things,
go
not
pick
necessarily in that order. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna go pick up my prescription because it's been sitting at the drugstore all week while I forgot to pick it up.
And what is this that you're taking again?
Wellbutrin, bupropion, the whatever.
But you are taking it every day, right?
I am taking it every day, Matt.
Okay. Just have to check.
I'm taking it every day. Because I got behind on it, I have like a couple week.
Okay.
So I'm not out of it yet.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, I'm not here without my meds.
So,
In fact, we're up in my dosage.
yeah.
Made it to the big leagues.
Big leagues.
But it does fill me with like endless entertainment that I need to take a pill to help with my focus and forgetfulness, but I have to remember to take the pill.
Yes.
Like there's something about that will never not
Oh
be
my God.
anything to me.
Oh my God, that is so true. We need to talk on the next episode on ADHD 20 about about an app that I'm using that has been pretty helpful. And there is actually a long-standing to-do app that is RPG based that we can talk about. Yeah, I haven't used it that much off and on, but it's fun. It's definitely fun. So we can talk about that. Anyway, that's another thing. Allison,
Matt,
this has been a pleasure.
it's been so fun. What a good way to end the week.
Yeah, I think we did some work. So,
Are you going to do some sketches? I think you need to do.
I'll do some sketches. Sure.
I'll do some sketches. We'll both do some sketches.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll serve them up to Evan. And on the next episode installment of Pear Pods,
Mm-hmm.
we'll hop on into Adobe Illustrator and start making a dang logo.
Yes. I'm very excited about that.
Love this.
All right. Well, have a lovely weekend.
You say like I won't see you tomorrow and Sunday, but yes, same
Right,
to
that's
you,
true.
friend.
That's true. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you around the virtual tabletop.
And for anybody who's watching, the one person, number one, teach us how to set the tag to just hanging out, just gabbing. What is it? Just
chatting.
Just chatting. Just getting to know one another. Just living our best lives. Number one, teach us how to do that. And then number two, come on back, because we're trying to do this more and engage with human beings. All right, Allison. Until then.
All right, Maddie. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.